meeting to order at 4:31. Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes dated March 19th, 2025? Any corrections, changes? If not, I make a motion to accept the minutes dated March 19th, 2025. All opposed, all approved?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, Jack.
All right, so I'll start with personnel. We've had 3 new applicants for membership. One is bilingual, so that was a huge plus for us that we were kind of seeking out. He's currently in training and working towards getting going for the summer. The other 2 people, one is a doctor, a medical doctor, so we have to see how that plays out for him.
You go on calls?
To go on calls, yes. He's retired, just recently retired, has time. So we're trying to see how that will work with him. And his wife, who is also a retired doctor, she joined, but she gave up her medical license. So she's a driver and possibly will take an EMT class over the fall. So we have.
They would be able to just test out. Like, take the test.
Yeah, it's just not how it works.
I know.
So we're working on that. The other thing that
if he goes on a call, is his liability, what is his liability?
So if he practices as a doctor, he would have to have malpractice insurance as well as the agency and the county and the state. So it's not an unusual situation. It happens. Dr. Adepetro responded when he first joined our agency as what they call a field physician, which means that the doctor actually practicing, and we can take orders from them if they qualify, which Dr. Adepetro did. So this doctor would have to get qualified to that level. But yeah, he would have some exposure that he would need insurance. Yes. We would have insurance that we already have, the county and the state as well. Yeah, so it's not a simple answer. It's complicated. If they're willing to make the commitment, we certainly would love it, but it's not simple. So, and with that, we had a couple of members resigned that were not able to keep their activity up, being an active member. And we had one person that we've been struggling through training that it's just not working out, and that person resigned in the training. So that's personnel. Some of the events that we've done in the last quarter, and they're not really in order. Lions Club, we assisted with the Lions Club cleanup. We had able to put out 4 trucks with personnel to assist with traffic and that project, which I heard went very well. We will have this weekend the 10K race, which is kind of an all hands for us. We deploy 3 ambulances in the field, strategically placed to respond to community emergencies, so the race doesn't delay our response to the community. So we'll do that. It's usually about a 3-hour ordeal for us. Fireworks on the 12th. We'll be standing by, which is part of the requirement for them, but we certainly will do that. And some of the other things that we did, we went to a program at the school, like a job fair day, gave exposure to the medical field, not necessarily EMS, but medical in general. We had participated in the Community Give Back Day, where we had 4th and 5th graders came to our agency, cleaned ambulances, interacted with the membership, got a feeling for what we do. We try to inspire them for the future to volunteer back to their community in some capacity, as it's a rewarding experience, and give them that information. Coming up at Gardeners Bay Country Club in July, they have a family day where they, this year, have invited all emergency service agencies, police, fire, and EMS to have some type of representation there. We have, as an agency, made a commitment to participate in Camp Good Grief this year, which we have in the past. We don't have a hard date for that, March, July, August, September. Sometime this summer, there is a camp at Quinnipiac that there's different groups, but it's typically cancer-oriented, whether it's the camp participants have cancer or some type of debilitating disease, or family support, where they'll bring their siblings to come and everybody interacts for a day.
Is that Good Grief or Good Morning?
Good grief.
Good grief.
Good Morning will be here in October.
It's a different organization. So there are two of those things scheduled. And we, along with the fire department and the police department, make a big effort to be there and try to make it a good day for all. And it is. All right, so we'll be on that. I think that's about it on what we had.
Update on the building?
So the two updates, I'll give you two updates. One on the building. The town engineer has been diligently pushing. It should have started already. It should have already been done already. There were some, let's go with questions on, the usual punch list. That's been resolved. There were a couple of things that need clarification, beam structure. The engineer and the Ken Lewis, highway superintendent buildings, he handled that. It's resolved, and they're just looking to set a date, I'm told possibly in June or July.
But you're gonna have like a contractor put in the beam.
It's all done by one contract. The whole project is
okay.
subbed out to a company that does everything. Short of, we might do vinyl siding or a couple little things at the end.
No fine.
We were trying to save money on
I
that.
know.
Yeah,
Fine.
so that's that project, and that should take 30 days upon start. And the second project is the interior painting, which I keep getting pushed back, but the latest date that I got yesterday was sometime in June, possibly the beginning of July. It
It's still
doesn't
the
really
original
matter.
Paint in there? Still the original paint?
It's the original paint.
Wow.
It's now time to put a little effort into it to
Time,
keep
10
it. It
years
lasted us, what, 25
Something
years?
years, yeah.
So it's well worth it.
Off-white, I hope, not yellow.
We'll have that discussion at a later point,
The meeting.
No.
when we get closer to an actual date. Yeah, that's a
You need
big,
to help us pick a color, Peter, yes.
big
It
discussion.
was never our choice, it just did it. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, yellow, how nice.
Several people specific to pick color, and we're very confident that it'll come out fine.
So, just the only, I don't have too much to report, updating, a good and a bad. Good is we had to purchase a new stretcher. We had one break that was not repairable. It was about $42,000 total. That's been paid for, and we took receipt of that today. So,
42 grand.
yeah, so that's the good thing, and the bad thing is, we had another piece of equipment break, which is about $23,000. It's the machine that mechanically does CPR compressions. And so we obviously didn't fund for that. We didn't have an expectation of it breaking. We had the service company come out. It's not repairable, of course, medical equipment, but it's the original unit that we bought 10, 15 years ago. They don't make parts for it. They won't certify it, so we can't use it medically, of course. So what we decided to do, since we didn't have funding for that, is we have a capital reserve account, which is managed by myself, the chairman of the foundation, and the chairman of EMS. And we're going to make an emergency repair out of that capital funding account for I think it was $23,000. But the good news is that the foundation is well aware of that and will put a lot of effort into refunding our expenditure, but this way I don't have to go ask for money that we don't have. So, and we need the piece of equipment. It's not an option, it's a need. So we have that in the works.
Can I ask a question about that? Is that capital reserve in town accounts or is it in the foundation's accounts?
It's in the towns.
Towns, okay.
Yep.
Have you started to talk to Shelby about it?
I haven't yet.
Okay, all right, just because I think because it's in a reserve account, we may have to do a permissive referendum. So it
Yep.
would take 30 days to get the money out of there?
Yeah, we don't have a need for the money right now. We put it on a 30-day account, but it's not even in stock. It's one of these things like they kind of like tell you that it'll be built. So we ordered it, but I don't expect it for a month or two. Easy. But I will let her know.
Yeah, and I'll put it on the work session agenda.
Yeah, perfect, 'cause we should-
Here next week, and then we can.
Perfect. Yep, and then we'll be ahead of the game. About 150 calls as of today. We went out on 2 or 3 calls today. Welcome to the weekend. 439 last year, keep it in comparison.
Not to
And
date.
To date, I don't have, I think it was pretty much on target, about 130 or so. We're a little bit ahead of to date. I can look it up if you're interested in
No,
it, but
just wondering.
it's strikingly, it's about.
So
the
January
same.
1st to now, about 150.
Yeah. Yep. So we're on track. We had a little slow pause, which was nice. We had a little break, but we know we're coming into, I had a conversation with somebody that was looking to do what they called seasonal membership, which is not anything that we've done before. I did look at the stats, though, just trivia for the day, I guess. July, August, and September, obviously our busiest months. They typically are about 55, 56 calls, each of those 3. September typically the hottest of the months for us in calls. So we do almost half of our calls in those 3 months.
Which makes sense, because we go from 2,000 residents to 12. So
Yep. So I think that's all I have, Peter, unless anybody has any questions.
for the building, since there are 3 bays now, is it going to be one big one and one small one? How are they?
No, the building footprint doesn't change.
Right.
Just the building's getting a little longer in depth. So there's no actual width change. It's just they're gonna be a little bit deeper.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't get around the trucks on the
So there'll
front.
still be 3 doors?
It'll be,
I-
well, it's gonna be 2. What we decided to do is we're gonna have one big
Big
door.
Like a
2.
double and then one.
So the newer trucks have these huge truck mirrors, and it's within an inch or 2 that people have to navigate in between the columns. So we're removing a column. That's really part of the design.
That's why you need the.
One
Yeah.
big beam to accommodate that, so we won't have the columns. So we're gonna pick up 18 inches, roughly 20 inches of space to move these trucks around because we don't have those columns.
Gotcha.
So it'll be 2 door, 1 large, 1 smaller.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep. And we're going towards the road out a little bit because the trucks are longer and you couldn't physically walk around the front of the trucks when the doors were shut. So that's what this accommodates.
Gotcha.
Trucks have grown in size over the.
They have, yeah, it's not even our choice, it's just the physical layout of the truck themselves. You know, that they build the ambulance on, they're just bigger. You know, and we look for 4-wheel drive to accommodate our needs here. And the other thing that we've been doing is we go for enhanced suspensions, you know, the liquid springs and stuff like that to enhance the ride for the patient, which is all important, but that makes for a bigger machine. Yeah. I forgot, the dinner was a huge success.
It was
Thank you to
wonderful.
Peter, Anne Marie,
Mhm.
Jeannie, and everybody
I
that put
didn't
effort
hear much
into
at
it.
all, but it was really nice.
It was a beautiful evening,
Us
perfect weather.
do a great job there, I think.
Yep.
It just reminded me how much the roots of the Charlotte Island community are represented in the EMS. It's very much hometown proud, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and sometimes I get people that ask about budgetary things with EMS and throwing a party, but it's much more than a party. First of all, the members deserve recognition for what they do, number one. And number 2 is we don't get to socialize as a group that often. Most people have lives outside of EMS. You know, they're raising kids, they're having a family, working, all these other things. And I think it's well worth the time and the money that we put into it, that people can socialize and have a down night together. It's important.
Did you ever sign the contract?
I did.
Okay.
I signed it that day.
After the meal,
No, before.
that day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then did we get a final bill yet?
I did not get a bill yet.
So we had 63 confirmed. I said 65, but I think 60, I saw one empty chair. I was kind of looking. So, and we were set for 70. So at minimum 65. So I don't know if Mariana got a final count, so I'll let you guys deal with that, but that's what it was.
I know we had 7 tables of 10 and it looked short of 1 or 2 people, so I think,
I was
Yeah.
trying, I think there was only one empty chair, seat at the table to the right of me. So.
Yep.
Okay,
so we're all good. They had the price of the dinner, they held at the same price as last year with no increase, so it was very fair.
Yeah.
And they do an exceptional job, I think, for us. Good. So that's all I have.
okay, Mark?
Just to follow up on Jack with the dinner, Rachel and I go on a lot of calls. I might not see her for a month. So these dinners and these gatherings are important for us to sit with each other and chat. Foundation is doing, we're putting a letter out next week.
Do they know when the cricket match is?
They tell us the week before. It depends on who's in town. That's all I have on the foundation as far as the equipment. I'm there when they come. We're getting money back from a trade-in for the stretcher, and even that is still 42,000. They're gonna give us a trade-in value on our Lucas as well. So, it takes a lot of time to sort all this out, but we have a good relationship with Stryker. We talk to the same person. And so it's not just, let's go buy something. We have 3 trucks and they really have to be out. We can't take a truck out and go, oh, that's the Neo truck. That's why we need 3 of everything. So,
Did it break for operator error or
No.
just a piece broke?
no, they came and did a repair on one of the Lucases, then they came and assessed the other Lucas. It was getting funky. We want compressions. Then it was kind of, I think at one point it smoked, so we just shut it off. So we had them out to assess it. They did a repair on another one. It's like boat stuff. It's really, you need an arm on one of the Lucases. It was $3,000.
So the Lucas brand and Stryker, they're 2 different ones?
Same company now. They're the same company, so we're dealing with Stryker. Lucas is the brand for the compressions, and Stryker is our stair chairs and our gurneys.
Gotcha.
And for such as their state of the art. We don't lift people anymore. It's just absolutely awesome. We help them get on a stretcher, roll them out, we hook them up to the trolley and the truck, hit a button, and they load up.
It's the same brand they use on 1,000 Pound Life on the TV series.
Is it?
They're 700-pound capacities,
And they lift them up like this. I was like, oh dear Lord.
Yeah, and there are times we need capacity that's 600 pounds. And just for people's peace of mind, we just go hit the button, there's no discussion about it.
Amazing.
But that's why a stretcher costs $42,000. That's with the trade-in. So, no, we are gonna stuff envelopes, send them out next week, hopefully. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't think so. Okay, we already talked about the annual foundation dinner. Any old business? Any new business? Boy, we're getting quick.
Could be a record.
Anything else from anybody? Amber, anything? No? Okay, make a motion to,
Just on one thing.
Oh.
We did move money, they say the reserve money, we moved it from the checking account to a class account, so it should start to earn more interest. So just so that money can build up a little bit for things that are needed.
okay. Nothing else? Make a motion to close the meeting at 4:51.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. Thank you, everybody.
Well,